Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the top 10 new tips that I have learned in 2025, and I'd like to share them with you. So without wasting any time, let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1, if you loot the entire scrapyard that is in B0, you'll probably obtain about 2.5 hiking backpacks full of scrap metal. Okay, but at abandoned bunkers, you get the generators, and on bridges, you can get generators in case you're interested in that quest. But these military trucks at abandoned bunkers have multiple loot spots. So if we loot this, there's scrap metal. If we loot the wheel, there's scrap metal. We loot that wheel, that's scrap metal. If we loot that wheel, there's scrap metal. If we loot the gas tank, that's scrap metal. We loot the other wheel, that's scrap metal. That wheel, scrap metal. And that wheel, scrap metal. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Military trucks have got multiple loot spots for scrap metal, and there's quite a few of them at this abandoned bunker. Which is in A1. Tip number 2 is a lot of people struggle to find enforced locks. But if you come into the D4 airfield underground and you come into the main loot room, then golden locks are really easy to find. So you just go into the warehouse in the main room. Into the warehouse in the main room. And then you can search every single pellet individually. And you'll be able to find quite a lot of good loot, but you'll find a lot of enforced locks as well. There's an enforced lock. There's an enforced lock with a grenade launcher round. There's an enforced lock. There's an anti-personnel mine with a flashbang. There's an enforced lock. There's an enforced lock. There's an enforced lock. There's an enforced lock. And there's an enforced lock. This is quite a good run. I can quickly show you guys the server settings. There we go. This is on vanilla loot. Okay, vanilla loot. There's an enforced lock. And there's an enforced lock. Okay, this is a above average run. Like, you can expect to find about 10 gold locks in the underground D4 bunker. But we just looted that room where you can search all the pellets and the camo boxes. And we searched that room where you can search all the individual pellets. All the individual pellets. Okay, and where the green containers, you can only search them once, except for this one here. The green crates that are on top of all these pellets, you can search those pellets individually. But that is 10 enforced locks within one section of the D4 airfield. So average 10, I'd say maximum maybe 30 on a really good day. Tip number 3. If you've got someone that takes very long to complete everything they have to complete at a trader, or you're waiting for food to cook, or you have to quickly help someone in your house and leave your character standing in your base, while you're standing, you are losing constitution. But a trick to not lose constitution is just to go to the squat function. Okay, so you press tab, you go to actions and squat. And then as soon as you squat, you stop losing constitution. The only reason I'm losing dexterity is because I've overeaten. I'm not losing dexterity because of any other reason except that my energy is high. If my energy was low, I would have still been gaining dexterity. But that's how you stop the constitution drain. Tip number 4. Until they change the overburdened function that makes you jog as soon as you go overweight, the best build for the current 1.0 version of the game from the release date of this video is dexterity at 1.5, which will level up very fast, very naturally, and intelligence at 1.5, and then you increase strength to 5 and constitution to 4. The other option that I usually take is 4.5 and 4.5. So that's officially the perfect build for Scum at this moment, because you can level up dexterity very, very easily by staying hungry, and you can level up your intelligence, not easily, but you can level up your intelligence if you're good with abandoned bunkers. If you're not good with an abandoned bunker, all you do is you change this to 3 and you take that to 3, okay? But you never touch the strength. So the most important thing about the best build in Scum 1.0 is that you start with 4.5 or 5 strength. That's your choice, okay? The reason we take 1.5 is when you start your character, you'll be able to take advanced rifles and medium archery, which is the best skills to start with. Then you can take advanced running and medium endurance, making your guy really, really do good. And then, yeah, you take medium thievery, and intelligence, you take medium medical, so that you don't suck at lockpicking and you don't have to use 10 bandages just to heal yourself. Tip number 5, just riding a mountain bike with minimum gear on you is not the way to level up your strength and your constitution, okay? If you've got minimum gear weight on you, or you're just carrying what you need to carry on you, you're building about 30 to 40% that you can, and about 40% constitution. That is not how you use a mountain bike. The way you level up your strength and constitution effectively with using a mountain bike is carrying weight on you, like that tactical vest that nobody likes wearing, and then adding small wooden logs to your backpack until you get as close to your max carry weight as possible. And the small wooden logs you just get by cutting down a bush. If you cut down a bush, you get 2 of these little logs, and you can just throw them away when you're looting, okay? But when you riding a bicycle on level ground, we're not going uphill or anything like that. When you're riding your bicycle on level ground, then you are gaining 50% or 50% of you're almost gaining double the constitution and strength. And whenever you're going uphill, you are going to gain the maximum without slowing down. The reason we don't go over the weight is because then you're going to be crawling. You're going to be losing all your speed. But as soon as you go uphill, if I can just find a gap in the fence over here, as soon as you're going uphill, you're going to be gaining a lot more. Okay, so now we're gaining 80%. And we're not going up a major uphill. Okay? 100%, 90%. Uphill, 100%, 100%, 100%. That is how you maximize your strength and constitution gain. Tip number 6. The best way to level up your awareness, survival, and engineering is to build a base. Now, we've already got advanced engineering with this character, but I want you to look at the awareness and the survival. If we just build one 10-meter wall. So this especially works when you build outer walls. So with outer walls, it's going to take 40 sticks, 40 planks, and 40 knife uses to complete it. Now I'm just going to process those materials naturally and show you what it looks like when I'm done. Another bonus tip that I want to give you while I'm processing that wall is if you are inside your flag zone, you can literally just double click on the chest above to move it. So I'm going to run full speed now. And this is by far the easiest way to move your chest around. Makes moving those logs around really, really easy. Okay, so all I did was cut up 10 logs with a saw, which equals 40 planks, because a log with a saw gives you 4 planks per log. And then I cut up one branch into small little sticks. And then I'm going to fill up the blueprint, not with my metal saw, but I'm going to take a kitchen knife in my hand and then use the kitchen knife to fill the blueprint. So we're sitting on basic awareness and we're sitting on 53 survival by just cutting up 10 logs and one branch into small little sticks. And now I'm filling the blueprint. We are on 0 XP with advanced survival. Let's get the last planks in here. There we go. And there we just gained 56,000 experience on our way to advanced plus engineering. So by far the best way to level up your awareness, your survival, and your engineering. Tip number 7 is that NPCs have set spawn points. If you play the game enough and if you loot certain areas enough, you'll know that NPCs always spawn at the same places. One of the spawn spots that NPCs spawn at when you go to this B1 town is in the garage and then in that vehicle repair shop. So when I know that an NPC is going to spawn in the garage, or when I know that there's a chance that an NPC spawns in a vehicle repair shop, or when I know that an NPC spawns in the police station, the best tip I can give you is to come in from where you've got cover. So the worst place to go to a garage that you know NPC spawn at is the front, because they're going to open the garage door and shoot you immediately. The worst place to enter a vehicle repair shop from when the doors are open is from the front, because sometimes the NPCs spawn in extremely late. So when you're like 5 meters away from the opening of the vehicle repair shop, they spawn in and all of them shoot at you immediately. So a new tip is to make sure you enter the spawn point from cover. Make sure there's something between you and the spawn point. Okay? So if I know the NPCs are going to spawn in here, I'm going to use this wall as cover.
So cruel.
Okay? So they spawned in there. I'm going to make sure I've got cover. I'm never going to look at them in first person. I'm always going to peek.
I heard that.
Doesn't matter if they can hear it. They can't see me when I'm in cover. Like you can see, he can't see me. Okay? Because I'm in cover. Now, this single player, so unfortunately they can't open up the doors, but hopefully I can show you the advantage of third person leaning. You can see them when you lean, but they can't see you. Okay? So like this. Okay? If I lean, he won't be able to see me.
The ground trembles with fun.
So I know he spawns in this garage. So entering the garage from the front is the worst idea. Entering the garage from the back is the best idea. Unfortunately, in single player, they can't open up doors, which needs to be fixed. But again, I'll just lean, okay, and get the drop on them. So just remember, figure out where their spawn points are and then use it against them. And like I say, a vehicle repair shop. Now, this vehicle repair shop isn't open, but you do get vehicle repair shops that are open in the front. And I have gone to that vehicle repair shop from the front, and then they spawn in when I'm about there. They all spawn in and they shoot at me immediately. When you go to a police station, don't go in the front door. Most police stations have this little kitchen over here. And the thing with NPCs, because they spawn in so late, you want to get as close to them as possible with solid cover. So instead of going in the front or peeking through a window, I go through the kitchen and then I get against the door or the wall to hear if they're spawning in. I've got solid cover. There's no way they can shoot me, but I'm going to use the wall to hear if they're spawning in. Okay? And now I know I'm safe. This wall is against the police station. So if they're going to spawn in the police station, then I can, instead of peeking this window, I can just walk against this wall with solid cover to hear if they're going to spawn in. Tip number 8. The new edition of quests in Scum is by far the best way to gain fame and money so fast that dying or losing loot or losing half your fame due to a player killing you will not affect you at all once you have done enough quests so that you can do tier 3 quests at the general goods trader and the armorer and the mechanic and the doctor at this trader and the Z3 trader and the A0 trader and the C2 trader. Once you have opened up tier 3 quests at all 4 different individual traders and all 4 trader locations across the map, you will never struggle with fame or money ever again. And if you want to know how to get there, basically what you need to do is you need to do 6 tier 1 quests so that tier 2 quests open up. And then you need to do 12 tier 2 quests or tier 3 quests to open up. So basically at every single trader, you just need to do 6, not more, only do 6 tier 1 quests at every single trader, and then just focus on tier 2 quests at every single trader until you get to tier 3, and then you don't have to worry anymore. That opens up your freedom. And even with a character that has 0 fame and 0 money, if I just start at the first trader and I do the 12, because you can only do 3 quests per trader per day, per 24 hours. If I just do 12 tier 1 quests at one trader, look at what happens with my fame and my money. Oh, just doing the first 3 quests at all the tier 1 phases gives you about 70 fame and 9,000 bucks. Now times that by 4. Let's just say you go to every trader, because you can only do 3 quests per trader per day. But let's say you go to all 4 individual traders across the map and just do the 12 tier 1 quests. That gives you 70 times 4 is 280 fame plus about $36,000. That's enough to buy a cruiser. Times that by 5 or 10. Let's take an average of 5. Once you get to tier 3 quests, that's what you'll be able to make on a daily basis. Who cares about dying or getting killed? Tip number 9. Since a lot of people don't like hordes or don't like people hearing them from like 500 meters away when they shoot a gun, crafted suppressors are really good in Scum 1.0. So if you craft an improvised bottle suppressor and hold control, it tells you that you can fire 10 shots with the suppressor before it breaks. That is really great for crafted rifles or crafted pistols. Then, if you go to a crafted suppressor that you use a can for, it tells you that you've got 29 rounds before the can suppressor will break. That is really great, again, for many guns that you fire in single shots. And once again, if you're lucky enough to find an AR, but you don't have money for a suppressor and you get the oil can, you can turn that into a suppressor and that can fire up to 72 shots before it breaks. You can literally put this suppressor on an AK with a drum magazine and it will only break once you have fired 72 shots, and you can repair these suppressors with a toolbox. Really, really, really great addition to Scum. Very, very, very useful, and I like the sound of them. 10th and final tip is that Scum brought back weapon jams, and a lot of people are frustrated by it, and a lot of people don't understand it. So there's just 4 weapon jams that can occur, and I'm going to practically show you all of them. So the first weapon jam that occurs is when your weapon loses durability, and it's the more likely weapon jam to happen because if you buy ammo and you buy magazines that are not that expensive, like if you've got VHS, you're probably going to buy the ammo and the magazines, but you're not going to buy the VHS. That's why when you shoot the VHS, it's going to lose durability, but the ammo and the magazines are going to be at 100%. So when a jam occurs, it's probably going to be the weapon. For me to demonstrate this for you, I looted a few World War II bunkers where the durability of the items are quite low. So we're going to start off with the low durability M1911. This is what typically happens. Then we're going to use a brand new M19 magazine, and then we're going to spawn in fresh 45 ammo. So the magazine is 100% and the ammo is 100%. Only the gun is low durability. Okay, so we take the low durability gun, we put the ammo inside, and let's see if we can get a jam. Okay, no jam there. We were very lucky. Let's load it up again. You know what, guys? I've been struggling for 21 minutes to get a gun jam on single player. Maybe gun jams isn't a thing on single player. So I'm literally just going to record a section from my masterclass where I explain to you exactly how gun jams work. I have tested this 100 times. It works every single time. You know, knowing this helps you a lot under pressure, gets you shooting your gun again, saves your life. So let me just give you the clip from the masterclass. But I definitely will kill one next time. And the reason I struggled with the jam is because someone in my stream said, if your gun jams, you always take the top right-hand option. And I didn't know that. Like, according to me, if it's your magazine, then it's the bottom. If it's your ammunition, you know, then if it's your magazine, it's the bottom left. If it's your ammo, that's low durability, it's your bottom right. You know, if the bullet is sticking out of the top of the gun, it's top left. If the bullet isn't sticking out of the top of the gun, it's top right if you know it's your gun. So according to me, I know my ammo is low durability. So yeah, that's why I did something stupid, because someone in my stream told me, no, it's always the same option. But that's how we learn. Okay, that's how we learn. It's not always the same option. So if it's your gun and you don't see a bullet at the top, always pick option 2. If you know your gun is low durability and you see a bullet popping out of the top, then it's option 1. If it's your ammunition that's low durability and you know your ammunition is low durability, then it's option 3. If you know your magazine is low durability, then it will be your magazine. But I believe my ammo is low durability, so I believe it's the ammo one. And it is. Okay. It was the ammo one. And that is a quick jam guide. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 10 new tips that I've learned in 2025, and hopefully all these tips will improve your gameplay and make sure you have a lot more fun in Scum. If you enjoyed these tips, do me a favor and click that like button. And if you want to see and learn everything about Scum, then click that subscribe button, because the masterclass that I'm busy with will be the most informative series I've ever made, and you'll learn everything you need to learn in that series. But for now, just click the subscribe button and the like button to let me know you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.